McGidry, second to Wonder Again the last 2 starts. This is her 4th start at 1 1/8. She has 2 wins and 2 seconds. Number 2 is Little Treasure, ridden by Kit Desormeaux. 2 for 2 in graded stakes since coming to the U.S. this summer, a multiple stakes winner in France.
And of course, the Keeneland K means they were purchased at Keeneland, and Show Lady was sold for $4 million here as a yearling. She is a half-sister to Breeders' Cup Distaff and Eclipse winner Essena. She became a stakes winner last time out. She's won 2 of 4 starts. Wonder Again is looking for her 5th win in a row. She has won 4 of 5 starts on the turf for trainer Jimmy Toner, and this race has been her goal all summer long. This is her Breeders' Cup. The hottest jock in the land, Edgar Prado, on board. Distant Valley trying to regroup after the American Oaks disappointment out in California last time out. Previously had not been worse than 3rd for trainer Niall O'Callaghan, and jockey Craig Perret, who lives here in Kentucky, picks up the mount.
Number 6 is Zinda. You saw she had her shoe fixed earlier. Trainer John Gosden has won this race with Ryafan in '97. Zinda making her U.S. debut, 2 for 4 this season. Second in the Group 1 Coronation Stakes the last time out. Richard Hughes is up. Number 7, Alozena, ridden by Pat Day, the winningest jockey of all time here at Keeneland, trained by the Hall of Famer Ron McAnally, who won this race with Affluent last year. And she has been playing catch-up most of the time out west behind Megahertz and Little Treasure, hoping to do better today.
And number 8, we'll move on, is Lush Soldier. You may recognize those familiar silks of owner-breeder John Franks. She's trained by David Bell. He's second leading trainer up at Woodbine. This filly has been very consistent all summer. She has a very good record here at Keeneland, although she does appear to be a tiny bit overmatched in here this afternoon. And number 9 is Megahertz for Bobby Frankel. She's won 5 of 6 starts this year, over $600,000 since being purchased, for probably about a 5th of that. She's coming off a hard-fought second in the Del Mar Oaks. She looked home free, but Dublino got the best of her that day, and Alex Solis in to ride.
Okay, Janine, let's reel them in right now. It's time for our Long John Silver's catch of the week.
And we used 2 lines and 2 hooks this time out. You'll see what we mean. We start with the American Oaks, and Dublino and Megahertz both coming from off the pace. Dublino gets the jump on Megahertz this day, but here, right there, you see the rider on Dublino inadvertently strike Megahertz in the face with his whip. So Dublino actually wins the race by a half a length, but she is disqualified, and Megahertz gets the win. She closed from last this day into a slow pace. Then in her very next race, the 2 fillies met up again. This was August 24th in the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks, and Dublino once again has a little bit more stalking tactical speed. She gets the jump on Megahertz. Megahertz splits horses, and here, like a Porsche, she excels through the lane, and she comes up just about a nose short of Dublino, who is pretty much the divisional queen, 3-year-olds on the turf right now. But Megahertz here for Bobby Frankel. He is not concerned about the soft turf course today. He says she's a little light filly. She's run well over it before in France, which is where she's began her career. He thinks she's going to run a big race this afternoon.
And Megahertz right now, the 9-horse, is the 2-to-1 favorite. She's already been in a battle with Wonder Again to see who would go off as the favorite here. As we take another look at the odds, Risk Averse is at 7-to-1, Little Treasure 6-to-1. There you see Wonder Again at 5-2, Zinda now 9-2. At 2-to-1 is Megahertz. Keep in mind, the favorite has won this race only 4 times in 18 tries coming into this.
The filly taking a lot of play right now off of her morning line odds is Risk Averse at 7-to-1.
And so with that, it's time to take a visit to our Bud Longshot.
Well, I liked her a whole lot better on the morning line at 15-to-1, but currently she is 7-to-1. Her name is Risk Averse, and she spotted 6 pounds to Wonder Again in the Lake Placid. She was beaten by Wonder Again by 2 1/4 there, and then in equal weights in the Garden City Breeders' Cup Handicap, lost by just a half a length after being in traffic, and she was closing strong. Let's take a look now as they come down the lane here. Talk about traffic. She's got a wall of fillies in front of her, and Risk Averse is going to close in strongly as Wonder Again gets the win here. As a matter of fact, Wonder Again has won 4 in a row, but she is favored at a much better price. I like Risk Averse, a fast closing and hard closing second. Kenny, Janine, don't be adverse to risking a few bucks on Risk Averse.
This could be her day. She has been so close in the last couple of times, Gary, but Wonder again. Will she be the Wonder once more? She certainly has the riding wonder aboard her right now. Edgar Prado, what a huge year. He won his first Gulfstream and then his first Saratoga riding titles this year. A huge weekend last year here at Keeneland. He won 4 stakes races, 2 of those Grade 1s. Came into the day tied as the top jockey of the Keeneland meet, and he has ridden Wonder again in all 4 of her career victories. He talks about today's race.
I think today the chip is going to make the difference, and whoever the filly will take the grass. It's very competitive group today. My filly is doing real well, and I think it's going to be a riders race. Hopefully, will be us.
Well, when he talks about riders race, that's the old term, jockey for position. You got to know when to time, when to make your move, and especially in a race like this.
Well, you know, that's always the case in any race. I mean, any race is really a rider's race, but I think what he means is that there are quite a few fillies in here that want to come from off the pace. Some of them can lay a little closer than others, such as Little Treasure and Show Lady. They might be up closer. Zenda's got some early foot, but fillies like Risk Averse, Wonder Again, Alozena, Megahertz pretty much all want to be towards the rear, mid-pack towards the rear, and they're all going to be watching one another to see who pushes the button first. Nobody wants anybody else to get the jump on them, to get the advantage, and I know that Edgar Prado is going to have his eye on Alex Solis on Megahertz, because this filly has an incredible turn of foot. I mean, she can really accelerate. She breaks from an outside post. She's going to drop back, try to get him behind the pack and save some ground.
How about the yielding course that we now have here? Who's this going to favor, or who's it going to hurt?
Well, you know, believe it or not, most of these fillies have run over a soft course before and have done pretty well on it. Risk Averse has done well on a soft course. Little Treasure has as well. Show Lady ran a very good race behind Wonder Lady at Saratoga on a yielding course. So there is really no filly in here that you would throw out and say, oh, she definitely will not like the soft course. And I guess that's why we have not had any scratches today.
Gary, who do you like?
Well, Kenny, I'm going to go with the Bud Longshot in here. Risk Averse. Mark Guidry aboard for the first time. Robbie Davis had been doing a fine job, but Risk Averse, a filly that's improving, and she was tough. All right, Kenny, back to you.
Megahertz is the slight favorite. Let's go up to Kurt Becker with the call.
They're at the post. And they're off. Distant Valley ducked out at the start, now straightens course. Little Treasure comes out running for the early lead. Here comes Distant Valley up on the outside. Show Lady is there in between those two, but not really wanting to press the issue. Alozena will move up in 4th in the center of the course, moving out of the line for the first time, and Little Treasure has the lead by 3 parts of a length. Distant Valley is there on the far outside in 2nd. Show Lady moves over toward the inside in 3rd. The front 6 are tightly packed. Alozena moves up in 4th, just 2 lengths off the lead. Around Wonder Again, who's in between horses, 3 lengths from the front. Lush Soldier is wide around the first turn, 3 lengths off the lead. Another length and a half back to Zenda, who is tucked away toward the rail. Risk Averse flanks her. Megahertz is unhurried in the early going. She is last, 23-3 the time for the opening quarter. And Little Treasure has the lead, but Alozena runs by from the center of the course, moving up around Distant Valley, who's 3rd. Lush Soldier is caught out 4 wide at the 4th position, 2 lengths off the lead. Wonder Again moves up behind her. Show Lady down to her inside against the rail. Zenda takes to the outside, moves up 1 spot. Running 3.5 lengths off the lead. Megahertz comes off the rail between horses from last. She and Risk Averse have to angle out toward the center of the course. 4.5 lengths from the front. They got 6 furlongs and 1:13-2. Alozena and Lush Soldier, the top 2, separated by a head at the quarter pole. Zenda and Wonder Again in striking position, although Wonder Again is looking toward the inside. May find an opening there into the stretch. It is Lush Soldier with a short lead. Zenda, Wonder Again, Alozena, Risk Averse, and Megahertz in behind that wall. It's wide open. 6 of them with a shot in the final furlong. Risk Averse coming forward along with Zenda. Zenda short lead. Risk Averse is right alongside. Down to these 2 at the line. Zenda, Risk Averse gets her by a nose on the line. Zenda settles for 2nd. It's close for 3rd. The time, 1:49 and 4/5 seconds.
Pop the top on that, Bud Longshot. It's Risk Averse. 2nd the last 2 times to Wonder Again. Finally, no longer a bridesmaid. She is the bride here, the queen of the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup. Risk Averse, the unofficial winner in 1:49 and 4. Nosing out the European invader Zenda at the wire.
Zenda ran a tremendous race, but I noticed that Risk Averse with Mark Guidry was in the watchful eye of Alex Solis and Megahertz. They moved together, but Megahertz did not quicken as she normally does. May have found the course just a tad bit too heavy for her. Risk Averse out in the outside there gets the better of a very, very game, very gallant Zenda. And Risk Averse picks a good spot to pick up her first Grade 1 win in the Queen Elizabeth.
And it's the first victory here in the Queen Elizabeth for jockey Mark Guidry. Risk Averse, the 7-to-1 shot, wins the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup. We'll hear from the winners when we return to Keeneland in Lexington, Kentucky.
This ESPN presentation of the Road to the World Thoroughbred Championships is brought to you by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. Long John Silver's, this is seafood country. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by John Deere, nothing runs like a deer. Equibase.com, your official online source for racing information, from entries to results and everything in between. Equibase.com is a service of Equibase Company, the Thoroughbred Industries official database.
There's Risk Averse, the winner of the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup. Let's go to Gary Seibel with the winning trainer.
A couple of moments ago, winning trainer Pat Kelly said, I'm going to like this. $1 million last week, $500,000 this week, talking about the Jockey Club Gold Cup win last week with Evening Attire, an upset at 9-1. Today, the QE2, 7-1 upset with Risk Averse. The Bud Long shot, I told you this morning, I thought she had a good shot.
We thought she was very live. She's been running hard. She has great experience at the 1 1/8 racing distance, and her style fit the the long stretch here at Keeneland.
Let's take a look at the replay. Were there any moments of concern? She got away slowly from the inside post, which is not that much of a surprise, but really didn't show a whole lot until they headed for the far turn.
I had a nice talk with Ron in the jocks room earlier today, and we talked that if he could get her to settle early, that she'd come running at the end. That's her style, I think, her best style. She likes to finish strong.
Well, she certainly finished strong here, and it was almost in doubt whether she'd get there or not. I also asked you earlier and alluded to this at the top of the show. Should she win today, what about the Breeders' Cup? And you did not give me a definitive answer.
And I probably won't now. We'll figure it out. I'm flying back with Mr. Schiff tonight to New York. The filly will rest the day tomorrow, and we'll figure out what we're doing.
All right, good luck to you in upcoming races, and congratulations on today, Pat.
Thank you very much.
Pat Kelly on a roll today with Risk Averse. Kenny?
He's going to be busy at the Breeders' Cup anyway. His second-generation horseman, his father Tommy in the Hall of Fame. Risk Averse returning 17-20 is our Bud Long shot. Zenda comes in second in her U.S. debut. And look at Lush Soldier, the 43-to-1 shot. Coming down from Canada, hits the board.
Yes, she runs very, very well here at Keeneland. We'll try and take a look and see what happened with Wonder Again and Megahertz. Both fillies, the two favorites, did not run their best races this afternoon. And you can see that Megahertz now is moving up with Risk Averse, but she is back towards the middle of the racetrack in the blue silks there, the little chestnut filly. She starts to kick in gear here, and she kind of squirts through towards the inside. She's right next to Wonder Again now, who was saved ground under Edgar Prado, was on the rail all the way around, didn't fire at all. Risk Averse out in the clear in the outside, but Megahertz, no excuse. We really didn't see any problems. She did have a hole to run through there. She just didn't accelerate through it, and Wonder Again did not punch through at all this afternoon. But Pat Kelly told us this morning that owner Peter Schiff is wanting to go to the Breeders' Cup with this filly. I think he's probably going to end up talking Pat into it, and he can avenge a second-place finish by his filly Christy Cat. She finished second in this very race in 1990. So he gets his win here this afternoon.
You know it's a special horse because she's also a homebred.
Yes.
Risk Averse picking up $310,000 as we look at our Visa purse distribution. That puts her over $663,000 in career earnings. $100,000 for Zenda. Nice little trip across the pond.
Yes.
Lush Soldier picks up $50,000. Alozena, $25,000, and Wonder Again, the second choice here at $15,000, and Megahertz, who was the favorite, finishing sixth. 2 weeks from today, it is the Breeders' Cup, and coming up 13 days from now, it will be the World Thoroughbred Championship Special from Arlington Park. Join Randy Moss and the guys at 5 Eastern on October 25th on ESPN2. So we'll wait and see about Risk Averse. Will she go on as the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup winner to run in the Breeders' Cup. Who knows about that? We do have some news that have happened this week, including the defending champ in the filly and mare division, Banks Hill. She has a new trainer, Bobby Frankel.
That's right. It's as if he needs another good horse in the barn. Well, trainer Andre Fabre has saddled Banks Hill for all 13 of her starts, including this win in last year's Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf. It was her only U.S. start. Now, she did run third in the yellow ribbon here just a few weeks ago, but Banks Hill now in the barn of Bobby Frankel, and she is all set to hopefully defend her title in the Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf.
Okay, so we'll see if she can successfully defend her title. Risk Averse is a big winner today, picking up her first Grade 1 victory here in the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup. We move from the track to the links. PGA Golf is coming up next. For Janine Edwards, Gary Seibel, and Eleanor Mondell, this is Kenny Rice. Thanks for being with us at Keeneland this afternoon. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Risk Averse, the winner of the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup.
The 16